biggest question of the day and the biggest question out of probably the biggest Super Bowl was that the greatest halftime show ever? I'll answer that question later, but let's just take it all in for a second, right? First of all, I find it incredibly amazing that the NFL were able to bring Dr. Dre kind of out of a semi-retirement, because we haven't really heard from him ever since he dropped his album back in 2015. He's been kind of laying low lately, obviously still a force as a celebrity, as a DJ, as a producer, as an artist. So we haven't really heard from him. As I said, he was kind of in a semi-retirement. But for people in the NFL to bring him somewhat out of that retirement, to bring along an all-star cast, that being Eminem, Snoop Dogg, Kendrick Lamar, Mary J. Blige, we already knew, okay, this is going to be one of the best halftime shows in recent memory. You got Maroon 5, whatever that disaster was, it was okay, I guess. Needed a lot more Travis Scott in that halftime show. Katy Perry was great. Lady Gaga was great. Bruno Mars was outstanding. Beyonce was outstanding. I mean, Madonna, even in 2012, Madonna was truly something special to behold. You had Prince playing Purple Rain in the rain. I mean, those alone are truly special performances. But this performance was different. This performance hit home to a lot of people. And it was obviously a sense of nostalgia for a lot of people. A lot of people grew up listening to that kind of music. And it was probably one of the most vibiest halftime shows of all time. I mean, I'm 21 years old, but I live by the moniker, the mantra made in the 80s, because I know that era of music from the 80s to 90s, even the early 2000s, is the best music ever. I'm not a fan of today's rap unless it's J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, or Drake. If you're not any one of those three dudes, I'm not going to listen to you. I know, I'm sorry, but that's just it, plain and simple. So you had already a star-studded lineup performing. We didn't know what songs they were going to perform, but we all knew it was going to be great. Then you had surprise performances from 50 Cent, hanging upside down. I mean, that alone just had me jumping off my couch, just like getting crunk with everybody else. You had Anderson .Paak on the drums. Who would have thought that? Dre recognizes game. Game recognizes game. At the end of the day, you had to put Anderson .Paak in there somewhere, and I'm so happy he did that. Then you had Eminem's performance, truly great. Performing Lose Yourself. Real Slim Shady kind of was in there a bit, but not a whole lot. The NFL told him not to kneel. He did it anyway. Big ol' F you to everybody that says, hey, freedom of speech is still out there, and you can say and do what you want, and if you don't like it, then that is truly on you. So I love that Eminem did that for everybody. Snoop Dogg, of course. Still Dre, California Love. Those three songs, Nothing But a G Thing, they performed a little bit. Those three songs that those two performed, that being Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, truly something special. I was, honestly, tears were coming in my eyes because those songs have been such a huge staple in the evolution of rap. Then Mary J. Blige with her hit songs. And then just the who's who of artists that were just basking in it. Justin Bieber was rapping Eminem. LeBron was getting down to this entire show. It was just a show that you could not miss. Regardless if you were there, regardless if you were at home watching it. I'm pretty sure Snoop Dogg in his outfit, you see him doing the Crip Walk. It had everyone in their living room doing the Crip Walk. The only thing I would have wanted was, okay, you kind of got a Death Row reunion and you kind of got Aftermath reunion, so why not put Ice Cube in the mix as well? I mean, he's friends with Dr. Dre still, so maybe he could have made a small appearance. And let's not forget about Kendrick Lamar's performing all right. Mad City, amazing. I loved his earring he had. That gave me goosebumps when he came on screen. Then another thing I wish they had, which were the rumors were, but it didn't happen, which was the Tupac hologram. And if that would have happened, I'm pretty sure I would have had a heart attack. I would need a cardiologist after that, because that would have just put it over the moon. I mean, they shot for the moon and landed on the moon, but that would have put them in another stratosphere as the greatest halftime show performance ever. Even though it didn't happen, I still absolutely love the performance. And my biggest takeaway is, for all the love that this halftime show is getting, I just hope that artists now and upcoming artists choose to go down this avenue of old music, like the 80s, 90s, early 2000s music and rap. So that way we can kind of get back to those vibey days, those days where you were taking your girlfriend and dancing her to half of those songs at the bar. My point is I hope these upcoming artists and new artists, shoot, even artists that are already well known, can kind of go back in time in a way and perform this type of music and get back to the good music that we have. No more mumble shit. That stuff is completely outdated and completely terrible. We don't need to hear that. Clearly what people love is music like Dr. Dre's, like Snoop Dogg's, like Eminem's. So I just hope that these upcoming artists and past artists and already artists that are in their prime can just take notes. And the reason why half of these people, some people, didn't really like the halftime show was because it wasn't their generation, and they don't understand that that was the music that paved the way for the so-called mumble rap. I still don't even know how that happened. But all in all, this needs to happen for these upcoming artists to just go back and make the music that made us love rap, that made us love music. And as far as it being the greatest halftime show ever, it is 100% the greatest halftime show ever. And I don't think anything or anybody will be able to outdo it for a long, long time.